standing outside St. Paul's Basilica near the graveyard that was once attached to the church. And when the original St. Paul's was built here in 1822, this is the only Catholic church between Kingston and Windsor, and this was the only Catholic graveyard that existed at that time. And the most famous occupants here are, of course, the Famine Irish, who came here in 1847, Black 47 as it's sometimes called Ireland, and they perished in the hundreds. Well, close to 1,000 Irish died of typhus and malnutrition, weakened from their starvation, that they succumbed to just about any disease that came along. And the bulk of them are buried here. Now, in August of 1847, there was an incident where a cart carrying coffins for burial here was bouncing down along Queen Street, and it hit a bump, and one of the coffins bounced off the back of the cart and landed on the ground, where it broke into pieces, and out of the coffin spilled 2 bodies. Now, historians have debated the significance of this event. Some say that it was the hospital was underreporting deaths because the hospital was paid money for the living, not for the dead. So once they died, the hospital got no more money for them. Others would believe that it was the undertaker himself who was paid to bury 2 bodies and decided to pay just to bury one and pocket the rest of the money. One way or the other, people were profiting off the suffering of the starving and dying Irish. And so what does this cemetery look like today? That. In the early 1900s, the cemetery, which had been full and closed by about 50 years at that point, the Bishop of Toronto, I believe it was Neil McNeil at the time, ordered all the headstones to be smashed and the grounds to be paved over to make way for the school over there. The bodies that would have been in the foundation of the school were moved and buried elsewhere. The rest of the bodies remain here. The cemetery would go back this way, extend underneath the off-ramps from the Don Valley Parkway, which is just over that way a little bit. So this is where they are. That's where they're buried. Back in the 1990s, they were building a playground set on the far side of the school, and they started uncovering human remains. The police were summoned, and they were brought out, and it was quickly determined that they were from the time when this was a cemetery. Still is a cemetery.